The referee for this contest, once again, Mr. Bob Benoit. And now, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my right. He's wearing green with silver and black and weighing in at trim and ready, 161 pounds. He's a former Texas State welterweight champion, comes to us from Dallas, Texas. Please welcome Larry Slow Motion Smith. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner to my left. Wearing solid black trunks, weighing in at the middleweight limit of 160 pounds. Undefeated in 12 professional bouts with 8 big wins coming by way of knockout. A proud U.S. Army veteran that comes to us from Whitman, Massachusetts. Please welcome Mark, the Italian Bazooka, DaLuca! Referee Bob and I will final instruction.
Can you hear me? Okay. Listen, when I tell you to stop, you stop. When I tell you to break, I want you to break, and I want you to break clean. When I tell you to box, I want you to dog fight.
6 rounds of middleweight action. Mark DaLuca black trunks. Larry Slow Motion Smith wearing the green trunks with the gray trim. Peter Zimber and Brandon Berry calling the action ringside. The first time we've seen Mark DaLuca in the ring since last October in Plymouth. He's been out with a back injury, and his manager Al Heyman wanted him to get clearance to compete from the most respected doctors in the country, and apparently he's done so as he's back in the ring tonight. Comes out southpaw against Larry Slow Motion Smith, who had quite the ring entrance, singing some soul, Brendan, as he strolled down to the ring.
I'm a fan. It was great to see. I always like seeing somebody have such a good time, so confident coming in the ring and enjoying every moment of this. It's good stuff. And Mark also had a really nice ring entrance as well.
Mark DaLuca, one of the most talked about prospects on the New England scene right now. 12-0, 8 knockouts as a middleweight. Though he's not a kid, he's been around for some time. His boxing career has been here and there due to his involvement in the United States military, but right now really focused on boxing and making a splash in 2015. First fight of the year is against Larry Smith tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely made a mark for himself in New England, and probably going to break out throughout the United States pretty soon, I would assume. And not only is he a good fighter, he is just such a nice guy. If you talk to him, always very respectful, very, very nice guy. I'm a big fan of Mark DaLuca.
And doing some good work thus far against Larry Smith. Mark DaLuca was always a New England product, but since signing with Al Heyman, slowly but surely, the whispers are getting louder across the country that there's this kid from Boston named Mark DaLuca, southpaw, that can fight.
Yeah, you know, he's got a lot going for him. You know, he's a well-spoken, you know, good-looking guy, good fighter, and he's also, you know, he's exciting to watch. He presses the action, he can switch southpaw, orthodox, does a very good job. And I actually have noticed in the past year or so, it looks like he's more and more comfortable every time he enters the ring. And I think it's paying huge dividends in his career where his wins are just coming one after another here. And, definitely in for a good night of boxing here with Mark DaLuca in the ring.
In some respects, he reminds me of a switch-hitting Italian descendant, John Duddy, because he's very popular, sells a lot of tickets, and is exciting every time he fights.
Yeah, and that's a very good combination. You know, has a little bit of showboating here from his opponent, Smith. We'll see how long that can last. If he can continue to take those body shots and make those gestures, I'll be very surprised.
It's been a very good opening round for Mark DaLuca. The Italian Bazooka, they call him.
He's got everything going for him. You know, got the good nickname, got a good record, he's got a good following. I think he's a complete package here. I really, really like Mark DaLuca.
You just like him because, like you, he has a name that can rhyme with artillery for nickname.
That's
Brandon
right.
the Cannon Berry, Mark the Italian Bazooka DaLuca.
You called me out on it. It's the truth. The minute I heard his nickname, I said, that's it. I like this guy.
Round 1 comes to a conclusion and a good opening round for Mark DaLuca. Last time I saw Larry Smith, I was commentating with Danny O'Connor, and I said, do you remember him at all? And Danny said, oh yes, I remember Larry Smith at the Olympic trials. Comes from the same cast of amateur characters that I do.
strong cast of amateurs that they come from. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Danny O'Connor fought Danny Garcia in the amateurs.
The most impressive thing about Danny O'Connor's amateur career to me is that the eventual gold medal winner in his weight class that year at the Beijing Olympics, Felix Diaz, Danny O'Connor defeated him in international competition prior to the Olympics and did so with a stoppage win.
Wow,
I think that's
impressive.
a fact that is somewhat overlooked about Danny O'Connor sometimes.
It must be, because that's the first I've heard of that, and that's very impressive. See Mark DaLuca coming out here. It looked like a little bit more zap in his punches. Trying to set the tone here. See how comfortable Mark feels in there with that left hand so low. Switching up to southpaw again.
DaLuca with Smith cornered. Smith did a good job of covering up and firing when Mark DaLuca left himself exposed just for a second.
Yeah, he did. Definitely did. I actually thought for a second maybe those body shots affected him, but he came back with a couple shots of his own. Not where you want to be on the ropes against Bazooka, Mark DaLuca. Larry Smith is definitely absorbing them very well, and I'd be very surprised if he can continue to do that. A lot of times with body shots, you get hit with 8 or 9 right in a row, and then all of a sudden that 10th one or 11th one, it's just a different shot. Landed a jab. DaLuca comes back with a jab of his own. DaLuca's really focusing on trying to land that body shot that's going to make the difference. Still shaking his head no, saying these body shots aren't hurting me, but momentarily DaLuca got tangled up in the ropes there. Starters clinch here at the end of round 2, I believe it is.
I love how Larry Smith eats a left hand to end the round, and in eating that left hand, shimmies and somewhat moonwalks back to his stool.
A lot of showmanship there, and you know, he's just showing that, hey, I'm taking your best shots, and you can't hurt me. And he's trying to play a mental game with Mark DaLuca. I'm assuming that into the head of Mark DaLuca, as he's been around, he's probably seen stuff like this before, and he's probably just going to stick to the game plan because it is working.
Mark DaLuca with Hector Bermudez, Nick Sear, and the legendary Jimmy Farrell in his corner.
Round 3 scheduled for 6.
The Quincy Crew, as they called it.
Jimmy Farrell's been around for a long time. His dad, as well, used to run the gym.
You know, despite the fact that Larry Smith is a game opponent, he's still here playing the role of an opponent, and I think it would be very appropriate of Mark DaLuca to not allow Smith to go the full 6 rounds. I think he needs to get him out of here to make a statement.
Yeah, I agree. And I think he's definitely he's loading up on some of his punches to try to hurt Smith, and it's only a matter of time before one of them connect in the right spot, especially with the body.
And that was a right hand that seemed a little bit low, courtesy of Smith.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Ref had nothing to say. A lot of times when fighters, mimic their opponent after they get hit like they didn't get hurt, sometimes it's a sign of weakness that you did hurt me, but when it comes to the body shots, there's no faking it. If it hurts, everybody in the room will know. It's much different than a headshot.
Larry Smith would appear to be another low shot.
Inside fighting we haven't seen yet. Back on the outside. DaLuca tries to get his jab going. Nice left hook. Back on DaLuca, lands flush.
And now we might start to see Larry Smith unraveling as he seems to be more in the defensive shell than he has been this entire fight.
That's a good point, Pete. And it happens a lot with fighters. It's almost like you said, he is playing the opponent, and maybe his whole game plan was here to maybe get inside of DaLuca's head with taunting, and now he's getting tired, and I think you'll see things going DaLuca's way even more so.
Round 3 coming to a conclusion between Mark DaLuca and Larry Slow Motion Smith here at Melrose Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts.
And as he dances back to his stool again, he's just showing everybody he's having fun, he's enjoying being here. But
what's interesting was that was a delayed dance because Smith walked over to his corner and was walking regularly, and then at some point I think he sensed, I gotta dance, it's kind of my shtick, and he did a little shimmy right as he got to his stool.
And I think he even remembered his nickname at that point because he did slow down a little bit. It was like a slow motion dance back to his stool.
That is something I've never seen before just now. Round girl making sure the judge that it's round 4 coming up. It is. And she looks good.
She's doing a good job.
Ring Card Girls tonight brought to you by Mark, the ring guy, and Rodrigo Almeida, I believe. Rodrigo Almeida always brings Ring Card Girls. I don't know how he does it, Brandon.
Well, he obviously has some pretty good contacts in the round card girl world.
Round 4 underway between DaLuca and Smith.
What do we expect to see this round out of Smith? We saw him slowing a little bit in the last round. What do you expect now that we're in round 4? Is he going to continue to slow, or is he going to try to get an offense going of his own?
But you know what is interesting about Smith is that there's been times where it's almost as if he's luring DaLuca into a false sense of security. DaLuca lands some shots. Smith stays in a defensive posture, almost like a sparring partner, taking some good shots up against the ropes. DaLuca lets his guard down for a moment, and bang, Smith nails him with something.
Yeah, he's playing possum, and it's funny because he was just on the ropes there, and he got hit with a couple from DaLuca, and he looked at somebody in the crowd and winked and smiled. I'm almost starting to believe this guy that he is having a good time. It might not be just a show. He really might be enjoying this.
He did take the fight on short notice this week. Probably is enjoying what he's being paid as a result of taking the fight on short notice.
Yeah. And he's in this fight. I mean, I believe DaLuca is winning, obviously with no issues, but he's in this fight. He hasn't shown that he's been hurt at all, and he's been taking the best shots that DaLuca has to offer.
He's taken the best shots DaLuca has to offer, and at the same time, DaLuca's going to know at the end of this that he was in a fight, which is something I'm not sure a lot of people expected. Let's be honest here, a lot of people expected DaLuca to end this within 2 rounds.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see round 4, and you know, before you know it, we might be in the 6th round and going to the scorecard.
A body shot from DaLuca puts Larry Smith to a knee, and that's the first official knockdown of this fight scored by Mark DaLuca.
I did figure it was a matter of time for one of those landed in the right spot, but you can see the experience of Luca's opponent here. He took all the time he needed on his knee there. I think he's complaining that he thought maybe it was a low blow. Now he's eating shots on the ropes, and I think you might see this fight come to an end.
And even if he didn't really think it was a low blow, he got referee Bob Benoit to kind of stop things for a few seconds, which bought him some extra time. Larry Smith's a veteran; he knows what he's doing.
I was just gonna say the same thing. He knows all the tricks to pull out of the hat. You know, buy some time here, 3 or 4 seconds here, 4 or 5 seconds there. It means a lot when you're in trouble or when you're tired.
Nice right hand by Larry Smith just minutes ago, but that was one shot that he landed amidst absorbing a lot of blows from Mark DaLuca.
Looks like he's going to get out of another round here.
Well, don't speak so soon. A left hand by Mark DaLuca puts Larry Smith on his back, and this is a headshot that puts him down. He seems alert.
Yep, he's beating the count. He's up. He's ready to go. And I did speak too soon, that is for sure.
2 knockdowns scored in round 4 by Mark DaLuca. 1 left hand to the body, 1 left hand upstairs.
The ref just told DaLuca to keep his punches up, I believe.
See, that's the gamesmanship of Larry Smith over there. There really wasn't any low blows that round, but he's got it in his head now.
It's unbelievable. It's, what a veteran. What a veteran Larry Smith is. Although you don't see him dancing back to the corner after the end of that round, he did get into the ref's head where the ref had to give DaLuca a verbal warning, which
Let's be honest
realistically...
here, more low blows in this fight have been landed courtesy of Larry Smith than the other way around.
Yep, that was good. That's something you had to throw in the hat of tricks to pull out later on in my career, possibly. I'm not sure. That was good. I'm learning something.
Brandon Berry's taking notes right now.
I wish I had I knew that when I was fighting Cintron. I'll tell you right now, he's got his game face on. I think Larry Smith is going to come out swinging here.
Nice left hand by DaLuca. Sends Smith to the canvas for the 3rd time in this fight. If you're referee Bob Benoit, you might consider stopping this one.
Smith is talking to the crowd. He's smiling. He's back up. He's ready to go for more.
But he hasn't won a single round in this fight. He's now been down 3 times. I think one more knockdown from DaLuca, referee Bob Benoit's going to stop this one.
He might know something we don't with all the smiles on his face, because I definitely don't feel like I'd be very happy right now.
Almost doing an Emmanuel Augustus routine
I
to
see
some degree
that.
just a moment ago.
Yeah, I see that. He's taking those body shots much better than I would have assumed, especially this late in the fight.
And DaLuca's like, what's it gonna take to stop this? Well, he knocks him down again, and that's it.
Fight has stopped.
4 knockdowns en route to a 5th round TKO. Mark DaLuca back in style, 13-0, and a gutsy performance from Larry Smith, who's very respectful to the victor tonight in Mark DaLuca.
Yeah, very respectful sportsmanship at its highest level right here at the end of the fight. And DaLuca got what we both thought would be appropriate tonight, is stopping Larry Smith here in his home state, in front of his hometown crowd. I will have to say, though, I'm a fan of Larry Smith's entrance and some of the showmanship in the ring. I enjoyed myself watching that fight.
If you just joining us right now on murphysboxing.com, an unforeseen series of events took place earlier, which canceled the fight between Chris Gilbert and Pedro Gonzalez. As Pedro Gonzalez warming up for his fight with Chris Gilbert in the locker room, it appears to have twisted his right ankle. And as a result, unable to compete tonight against Chris Gilbert. But still to come, Danny O'Connor versus Michael Clark and Logan McGuinness versus Carlos Volchencio. For the official particulars of the TKO, we send it inside the ring to John Vina.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time. 1 minute and 11 seconds of the 5th round. Referee Bob Knight stops this contest. Your winner by TKO victory and still undefeated, the Italian Bazooka, DaLuca.
The Italian Bazooka, Mark DaLuca, still undefeated at 13-0. We send it inside the ring to our very own Butch Stearns, who's going to chat with Mark DaLuca himself.
All right, so here with Mark DaLuca from Whitman. Nice fight, Mark.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So you seem to want to get inside early and do a lot of damage inside.
I did. You know, I know Larry's a tough veteran, and I know he's elusive, and I couldn't really hit him to the head. You know, he's had a lot of fights, so I try to take the wind out of his sails. Good
Excellent,
sales.
excellent, strong fighter. Look for him in up and comings. Pack him up in there with Earl Spence, Jesse Hart, all the major fighters. Y'all look out for Mark. I'm gonna call him Trouble. Mark Trouble DaLuca. I don't know what he's at. Bazooka. I call him Trouble.
Classy move.
Hey, yeah, pleasure, man.
Do it, bro.
Thank you, my man.
Do it.
Thank you, pleasure.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thanks, champ.
So classy move by him to come over
he's a
and do
classy
that.
guy.
But a fighter like him with his antics, it's almost like, you know, from a fan's view, he's mocking you. But do you lose your concentration when something like that happens?
No, I don't. You know, I mean, I try not to, rather, but you know, I've been around a long time, and I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to, you know, get me out of my game plan and try to, get me in there. So, no, I try to stay composed and stick to my game plan. But, you know, he's a veteran. He's been around a long time.
Right.
You know, it's 40-something professional fights, long amateur pedigree. So, you know, he's seen a million of me, you know, so he knows how to fight.
Final question. Proceeds from tonight are going to the Mass Fallen Heroes. Extra sweet to win on a night like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Ken and Murphy's Boxing do an unbelievable job, and I mean the house is packed. It's excellent. He's bringing boxing back. So thanks.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right, okay. All right, back to you, Peter.
Thank you very much, Butch. A new nickname for Mark DaLuca, courtesy of Larry Smith. Mark Trouble DaLuca. He certainly gave him a lot of trouble tonight.